everybody, and welcome to day 15 of our 31-day challenge. So, I hope everyone's having an incredible week, and today is Saturday, so I'm sure everybody is relaxing at home or if you're working, remembering to always stay grounded, protected, aligned, and consciously co creating. So, today I wanted to focus our meditation on training our intuition, which is really, really important. I think now that we are merging different ways of thinking with other dimensions of reality, other dimensions of information, that we are just coming into this integration of all kinds of information that's coming out in our current information age. It's really, really important that we know and learn how to discern information and really, ultimately, at the very highest level, we really don't know what is the correct answer to everything because at the end of the day, we have to understand that our belief systems can be limited by our education, by what we perceive, by our life experiences and whatnot. And really, we don't know what we don't know. Even our science is every day discovering something new and changing the way that we look at things, the way that we perceive things, and how we are understanding our reality. To discern and to utilize the tools of our body, which is one of the most important tools that we have as humans, is to utilize our intuition, our ability to see beyond what is being presented to us, whether it's physically or through information. How can we utilize our intuition to tap into the highest level of information, maybe the Akashic records or a network of information that is even beyond that, that is connected to the collective consciousness, pure consciousness, which is what we are made out of. And the fact that we are made out of pure consciousness allows us to have a connection to that infinite information, but it's only available to us if we are willing to do the work and connect to that. And in order to connect to that infinite consciousness that we are able to connect to, because it's a part of every cell of our body, is really a peeling of layers of perceived understandings of what reality is. Because if we are stuck within belief systems of what we think things should be, things have to be, whether it's from the scientific perspective, a religious perspective, or a perspective that's imposed on us based on our culture and our surroundings, then we're never going to be able to see beyond what is a possibility. And that is a limitation of reality that we need to be aware of. So when we work with our intuition, it is a matter of peeling away all of those layers, questioning all of reality, everything that made up your beliefs now, everything that made up, your perceptions of things, and coming to a point of where we are integrating the judgment of looking at things from two-sided perspective, whether it's good or bad, coming from a place of neutrality where we are allowing and observing instead of judging all possibilities. And this is a wonderful way to experience reality, to experience all information that's coming in. It is a wise way to look at things because then you are looking at what resonates with you truly and what really doesn't resonate with you. And I think that that will change over time, even in your own personal journey. Even for me, things that I thought I believed 2 years ago, now my perception has completely changed on that. And that's because I'm constantly trying to find what is the highest truth. What is my highest truth through my experiences? What I am allowing myself to take in, to learn, to understand, and observing all possibilities. And it's incredibly important that we all take the time to do that now because we are being bombarded with information left and right. And when you look at these informations and how they're put out, there's always going to be a certain opposition, a contradiction of information. And so it's important for us to get back to our roots. That's why having and being very aware of what your core beliefs are And core beliefs are different than looking at these perceptions that are imposed upon us. Core beliefs are basically the things that make up your basic understanding. Let's say the laws of the universe. Okay, your understanding of what love is, or the understanding of how to process love, how to perceive love, how to give love. Those are basic laws of what make up your way of thinking and looking at things. Now, if you're someone that is, separated between the ideals of what's right and wrong, still, it's going to be difficult for you to observe all possibilities because you're going to want to judge two sides from those perspectives, and it'll be difficult to accept things that are new. So, the core beliefs have to do with the basic laws of the things that you are um, you know open from your whole self, what your whole self is willing to accept and process. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to practice a very powerful technique that I learned during my shamanic training to help me fine tune my intuition. And it's a very simple practice, but it's something that helped me understand. Before we begin, I want to help you understand what it means to feel, to identify intuition, a right intuition for you. Because in my journey, what I realized is that I was receiving messages, let's say from guides, from connections, all kinds of things that would come into my space. And the question would be, well, if I follow this and it goes down a wrong path, then where was my intuition during that time? And I hear people telling me about these experiences all the time. So, how can we avoid going down these wrong paths, or try to avoid? Because we have to note that some of these things that we are experiencing in life are also contractual agreements that we have signed up to for our highest good. So it's complex. There are things that our higher self needs to experience in this reality. Sometimes those things are hard, sometimes they're difficult, and sometimes the higher self requires us to go through those so that we can really understand a bigger picture of something. Okay. And so that's why, we can't judge experiences as good or bad. It's just what is the best for your highest expression. That is what I like to say. And that's how we can look at our experiences in life. However, within those parameters of what is good for your highest expression and what is not, the intuition that we utilize to make our daily choices has to be fine tuned. And whether you're meditating or whether you're feeling things, it always will first has to come from a place of silence where you have the training and you are helping yourself come into a state of silence, of neutrality. Because if you have a whole bunch of mind chatter and you're still processing the movie that you watched last night and the conversation that you had on the phone or the argument that you had, with all of that going on, you're not going to be able to find a true connection between your intuition and what's occurring. You simply won't, because you're distracted and your energies are pulling information from all of these parts, and so your ability to define any kind of circumstance from a point of intuition, clear intuition, is going to be tainted. So we have to train ourselves to come into a state of neutrality. And when we ask questions for our intuition to answer, the response that your body has to have is not an emotional one. It's not going to be one that you are either feeling fearful, anxious, happy about, overly happy about. It is a place of complete neutrality. And it's almost as if the physical body has shut down temporarily, which is what I'm going to help you train now, and come into the higher realms where you are receiving information from the higher self, which is non-physical. It's not going to be physical. It's going to be the highest truth from your highest expression, and that doesn't feel like anything. It is a silent, very deep knowing of what you're receiving, and that takes time and discipline to train the body. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to sit down and meditate to find that silence and that connection with yourself. It's important that we do, though, Because when we are receiving information, and we're listening to these things and some things feel off, then we have to learn that those reactions that we're having to those things, whether they're emotional, are there to guide us in a way. That guidance will not be clear unless you understand how to communicate with your core values, how to communicate with your neutral state. The neutral state, which is the integration of all duality, is your highest and most powerful state of being. So today we're going to practice that, and I'm going to share this exercise with you to assist you in helping you discern whether something is good for you or bad for you. Okay? So we're going to start now. We're going to start by inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to come into a state of neutrality now by disconnecting our root chakras from this physical plane. So I want you to visualize the center of the earth, creating a grounding cord that extends all the way down to the center of the earth. So visualize the center of the earth and connect to that core of the planet. We're going to inhale deeply and exhale. I want you to visualize a protective shield around your body, completely enclosing you from head to toe, making sure that you are owning your space, fully aware of what is yours, what belongs to you, aware of any attachments, cords, and sensing that you are closing yourself away from all of those connections. Okay? Go ahead and visualize that. Remember that your mind and the intention that you set is the most powerful that you have in your life to create. We're going to visualize our sphere around us, making sure that there are no openings in our space. And if there are, you're going to close them. So visualize closing the sphere behind your body completely, underneath you, all around you. We're going to inhale deeply and exhale. We're going to go into a deep state of neutrality. You're going to start with the root chakra at the base of your spine. I want you to close that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime. Disconnecting from any imbalance of your root chakra to the physical plane. You're going to go up to the second chakra now, at the sacral part of your body. You're going to close that chakra all the way down, disconnecting from any imbalance of your sacral chakra. Go ahead and close it. Visualize shrinking it down as you are disconnecting from the physical plane. You're going to go up now to the solar plexus, the yellow light in the core of your body. Visualize closing that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting from the imbalance in your central core, your emotional body, disconnecting all of those connections that we have emotionally connected to all things, people, places. We are taking all of that back and bringing it back into a state of neutrality. So go ahead and visualize closing that center core. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. And I want you to take a moment to explore this feeling right now, how it feels to be disconnected from the physical plane. If you're doing this correctly, you're going to be feeling a calm that comes over, a silence, almost as if a static that we were sensing previously has now lessened and it is quiet. So I want you to notice that. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. Taking a moment to allow your body to readjust to this disconnect and allowing yourself to absorb this feeling. We're going to go up to the heart chakra now in the center core. I want you to visualize opening that chakra as wide as possible, opening the green light emitting from the center of your chest. As you are opening your center for connection, your interconnectedness with all things around you. And this is how we begin to connect to that network, that universal consciousness that we all have the ability of connecting to, but it requires training. So visualize opening that space so that you are opening your antennas like a receptor to being able to receive the appropriate information. You're going to go up to your throat chakra. Visualize that blue light in the center of your throat. You're going to open that chakra as wide as possible, opening the center of communication. Again, you're opening your channels so that when you receive information, it comes in clearly through any way that you are uniquely able to receive your intuition. All of us have a different way of receiving information, so we have to become aware of what that is. And unless we open our receptors, we will not be able to do so. It also requires a cleansing of these receptors so that we are aligning ourselves with information that is in alignment with our highest truth. You're going to go up to your indigo chakra in the center of your forehead. Go visualize opening that up as bright as possible, opening the center of intuition. This is our main center of intuition where we are open and connected to that universal network. But all of these work together, okay? So all of these must be open in order for us to tap into that full functionality of the physical body. This is how we are training ourselves in our technology of the body and how it works. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. You're going to visualize a blank white screen in front of you, and you're going to see a color that represents your highest expression. Some of you already have this color that have been working with me every day. We're going to place that color up into our crown chakra. Now, this is the most important. The reason why the crown chakra plays an important role when we are talking about intuition, because this is our guide map to understanding what we're seeing, what we are projecting holographically in this three-dimensional reality is either real or in alignment with our highest expression, or false, a deception, unnecessarily coming into our space. When things unnecessarily come into the space, they create chaos and destruction. So we must be very aware that this tool is our guidance. Not only are we manifesting what we are creating in our reality, but we are utilizing this tool to disseminate and understand what information is required for us, to help us understand what information is being provided for us in truth with our highest expression. So go ahead and visualize filling this sphere here with your creative color in all areas of your life, in all intentions of your creation. We're going to start with career. Fill that in. Abundance. Fill that in. Consciousness, fill that in. Truth, fill that in. Health, fill that in. Our partnership, go ahead and fill that in. Our family and our friends. And finally, your life purpose. What are you here to do? Go ahead and fill that in as you set the intention that your highest expression is coming always from your highest good. So now that you are aligning this center of information, which is going to help us see what is right for us, for our intuition, we're going to go deeper now. I want you to visualize a healing color, your healing color, you should already have one, that comes into the body from the center of the earth, into the center core, creating a powerful vortex of energy. So I want you to visualize your healing color coming in to create this center core. And we utilize this healing color because this is our time for healing multidimensionally, and we're going to be cleaning out any kind of deception that we no longer require. From the universe, from source, I want you to visualize pulling down a powerful gold energy that comes down through the skies, down to the crown of your head, down your spine, combining with this green earth energy. So I want you to visualize, your unique healing color is combining with that gold energy. So whatever color it is, it can be red, pink, orange, green, and it's going to combine with gold energy, which is pure source energy that we are utilizing to run through the 3 dimensions of our existence. So as you visualize that combination running here in the center core, you're going to send some of that back down to the center of the earth, creating a channel of elimination. Everything that needs to eliminate from the body will go down this way as it is reabsorbed by the planet Earth. You're going to go back up to the solar plexus. You're going to pick up that your healing color and source with your intention, setting it out from the crown of your head like a fountain, coating the outside of your sphere. Visualizing that you are cutting any cords, anything that we weren't able to remove out of our space that is toxic. You're going to visualize now you are cleansing the illusion outside of you, filling your room that you are in, your home, with this healing color as all your reality realigns with your highest expression. You're going to go back to your solar plexus. You're going to pull up some of that healing color and source color up your spine and from your arms. You're going to visualize filling the inside of your sphere, powerfully feeling that healing energy surrounding your body. And as it does, I want you to set the intention that you are healing any ailments in your body, anything that's out of alignment, putting all the organs in the state that they need to for their highest function in the body. Again, cleansing and eliminating anything that does not serve us. I want you to take a moment to absorb this feeling as you come into a state of neutrality here. This is what neutrality feels like. You are disconnected from the physical plane and you have now accessed higher levels of information. So there is a certain very deep calmness that comes over the body. So I want you to start training yourself to feel this calm, this silence. And notice that your mind is not rushing into different places as it was previously. Okay? Notice that you're not having unnecessary thoughts when you run energy and when you disconnect from the physical plane. That is why this practice is so important in our understanding and training of our multidimensional body. So now that you are here, we're going to do a special practice. I want to do first a karmic cleanse. So I want you to visualize a room that represents filled with all of your karmic contracts. Go ahead and see it now. You're going to see all of the contractual agreements that you have come into this life to experience and feel pain, suffering, any kind of lessons that your soul requires. You're going to go ahead and destroy those as we neutralize and transform painful lessons into lessons of compassion. So go ahead and see all of those contractual agreements in that room, and you're going to completely eliminate them using, once again, your crown chakra, which is the most important tool to understand how to release deception, how to change your timelines. Go ahead and destroy all of those contracts in that room until the room is completely empty. Now that you have eliminated all of the contracts in the room, I want you to fill that room with your creative color. The same color that is in your crown, you're going to fill in that room. And this is how we are setting the intention that all of these lessons are learned through compassion, through love, through truth. Go ahead and fill that in. When we do this work, we are working on the highest level possible. We're no longer scrummaging through trying to define what our reality is going to look like. We are working with on the energetic level with the multidimensional body. Very good. Now that you have removed all of those contractual agreements out of your space, I want you to have a question of something. So you're going to think of a question, something that you are unsure about. And so we are going to begin our training for how to understand how we can use our intuition to answer important questions for us. So I'm going to choose something very simple as an example. And it's going to be, for example, going to an event. So I'm going to visualize, I'm going to think about this event that I'm having. I want you to go ahead and think of something that you have a question about in your life or that you are working on with your own internal self, whether it's something to do with your guides, for example, whether a guide is benevolent for you or whether taking a job is proper for you, whether information that you're receiving is good for you. And what I want you to do is I want you to see two flowers in front of you. Two flowers. And they're going to be the exact same flower. Really, it can be anything, but I want you to simplify this practice by utilizing the imagery of a flower. So on the right side, the flower is going to represent the question of what you're looking at. Okay? So for example, if I'm thinking of going to an event, whether it's a good idea to participate in that event, I'm going to visualize this flower that is the event. Okay? So visualize the flower on the right being what it is that you want to see if you're in alignment with. Now on the left side we have another flower. This flower represents you. Okay? You see that flower that represents you. What you're going to do is you're going to visualize and you're going to inhale deeply and exhale. But I want you to notice that your body right now, because you're running energy and because you're disconnected in reading state, you are in a state of neutrality. So what I want you to do is I want you to put that flower on top of the other flower, the left over the right, and I want you to see if that flower tilts or moves or doesn't want to be exactly on top in alignment, tracing the flower underneath. Okay? So if you see that your flower on top, which represents you, is somehow distorted or completely off, then the answer is no. That is not something that is in alignment with you. If it's pretty much in alignment, but something is off, maybe like a couple petals are off, or maybe it's just a little bit off center, it means that it is a possibility that you can continue with this, but something will be off, something will go wrong. Either it won't be 100% in your expectations, or it won't be 100% something beneficial for you, or there will be a challenge there, or something that is connected with the contractual agreement. So I want you to go ahead and see that and see what your results are. What results did you get? Were your flowers in alignment or were they out of alignment? Okay. This is a very, very simple way of seeing, but you cannot be running around in the middle of the day to do this. If you are going to do it in the middle of the day, you have to sit down, ground yourself, and come into a reading state. You have to have been able to remove yourself from emotional stress, coming into a state of neutrality. If you see these flowers, and the reason why we use flowers is because it's something very generic. It's not going to be something that you're going to be emotionally attached to. It's important for us, because of our monkey mind, because we have such a busy mind, to create tools that help us disconnect, learn to train, to utilize emotions when we need them, and to learn how to disconnect from the emotions when we don't need them, when they begin to interfere. And it's not just a matter of disconnecting, it's about learning how to train ourselves to utilize emotions properly. Because if we are coming into states of overwhelm or emotional states that are, taking us out of balance left and right, we're going to end up a mess. And so we must learn how to dominate and to work with the emotions in a proper way. So you're going to go ahead and clear that, and we're going to try it one more time. So I want you to have another question that you're working on, whether it has to do with your own personal growth, your guides. I'm going to do the visualization of a message that came in, okay? I'm going to say that this is just an example, that I had a guide or an angel come to me with information. And so the question is this information real? Is it in alignment with my highest self, or is it not? So the first flower is going to be this question, okay? Whatever the circumstance is, whatever that message was, you're going to visualize that flower embodying that question. Again, coming back into a state of neutrality. You should have no emotions, no anxiety. There shouldn't be any kind of fear, any kind of stress, any kind of even overjoy or love. You should be in a state of neutrality. Okay? It's not a matter of how you feel, because unless we know and we have trained ourselves to understand how to manage our feelings and emotions, they are not going to be a good guide map for you. You must learn how to process and work with those emotions. So the second flower is going to be yourself. It's going to be a question of whether this message is in alignment with your highest good. So go ahead and visualize your second flower overlapping the first and check it out. What is it doing for you? Is it in alignment perfectly? Is it twisting to the right, twisting to the left? Is there a petal that's off? Observe it and see what is happening there. And make sure that you are balancing your emotions, you are breathing through this and looking at it, observing it objectively. Okay? Very good. As you see there, how your flower is overlapped. Once again, if it is completely out of alignment with the first flower, it is not for you. It is not something that you need to do. Now, you can go deeper with this, and I will show how to do it deeper, either in a session with me where I can work one-on-one with you to see whether something is in alignment with you or not. Or there are other steps that you can work breaking down this information, looking at contractual agreements and enlacements that are tying you to this message that will help you understand why this came to you, what is the lesson. And all of that is very important for us to become aware of. Okay. Now, if your flower was off just a little bit, then it means that it's a possibility. It's something that you can do or can follow, but something will be off. There will be either an expectation that won't be met, confusion along the way, maybe a painful contractual experience that is required in this experience. Something is off. And so that right there gives you the choice to make whether you want to go down that path or whether you rather not. So this is the level of dialogue that we need to have with everything in our lives, my loves. Everything from the kind of tea you're going to be drinking today, to the color shirt, to the job you're going to take, to the person you're going to talk to the psychic you're going to go see. You know, all of these things, even articles that you're reading, the information that you're picking up, if we as individuals, as humans, don't know how to discern what is right information and wrong for us, we are all going to be lost, and things are only going to get more confusing because there's more information coming in. So I want you to visualize clearing all of these things out of your space. I want you to visualize any stress, any anxiety that you've had over the past 24 hours. And you're going to visualize a giant vacuum connecting to the bottom of your sphere. You're going to send everything down to the center of the earth, clearing your space. I want you to visualize 7 layers, 7 bodies in, 7 bodies out, cleansing, removing all of this stuff that you've picked up from the radio, the television, TV shows, movies that you've watched, things on social media. I want you to clear your cache, in other words. Okay? You know how we have to clear the cache on your computer system, on your internet? You're going to be doing that for yourself. Clear everything out of your space. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. And with everything that you're letting go, any kind of problems, arguments, fears, anxieties, you're going to feel yourself coming lighter, becoming lighter, coming into a much more calm state of being. If you're not coming into a calm state of being, you're not clearing your space. If you're not coming into a state of neutrality, you're still attached to something. So please be mindful and know that your mind is the master of your body. So you are in charge with how you feel and how these practices work for you. Your belief is the most important thing. So visualize clearing your space completely as you come into a state of neutrality. Inhale deeply and exhale. Very good. I want you to visualize now something beautiful, something joyful, something that has brought you a lot of joy. And I want you to tap into that state of joy as you raise the frequency of your body. you can either use a memory or you can pick a color that represents joy, happiness. What color is that for you? For me, today, I'm going to visualize that it's a pink and a gold. So I'm going to visualize bringing down a powerful wave of this color into my space, and it's going to surround my body as it heals my body, coming into a state of balance, of love, of connection. Okay, as I am owning my reality and what I want to create today. Okay, very good. Absorbing that energy as you decide that you are going to be radiating this joy, this love with whatever you're doing. You're going to come from a state of neutrality, from the highest expression possible. Okay, very good. So now that you have aligned yourself, we're going to start with our chakras. We're going to start with the root chakra. You're going to open that root chakra back into a balanced state. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to go up to the second chakra, the orange light. We're going to open that chakra back into a balanced state. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to go up to the solar plexus. You're going to open that yellow chakra back into a balanced state. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. You're going to go up to your heart chakra. You're going to close that chakra back into a balanced state. So all your chakras are in a perfect alignment up your back, front and back. Don't forget that your chakras are dual-sided. They're not just one-sided. These are discs like this, that one is in the front of your body, one is in the back, and they go up your spine in parallel. So you're going to visualize them in alignment. Going up to the throat, we're going to close that chakra back into a balanced state. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling, we're going to our indigo chakra, our intuition, closing that chakra back into a balanced state, but not all the way. Leave it a little bit open so you are constantly utilizing this center, training yourself throughout your day. Once again, utilize your tools. You are most powerful biotechnology in this entire matrix universe. Learn what you are, learn what you're capable of, okay? So now that we're coming into a state of balance here with the body, I want you to open your eyes and come back into the room. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today on this very important practice of training our intuition. If you have questions, please write them below. Let me know. If you would like to subscribe for more tools on understanding how to utilize the technology of the body, how to deprogram and reprogram DNA, and how to leave the reincarnation cycle as we look at the universal consciousness and our role as humans and what we play in this reality, please subscribe, share with your friends if you would like. I'm going to be getting much deeper into these topics over the next couple videos, and I really hope to assist you in any way that I can in empowering you as an individual, as a human, as light, that you are in charge of this reality. We are not victims, we're not puppets, and we're not here to just follow senseless agendas of unconsciousness and the destruction of mankind. We are the ones that have to take things into our own hands, and we can only do that if we know what we are and what we're capable of. So thank you so much for joining me, my loves. All my love to you, and I hope you have an incredible day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ashenafine, Jack, Jake, Jenny, Thomas. You guys are incredible. All my love. See you soon.